Welcome to this week's vlog. With Farm24 and BBC Farmwatch, it's been a fantastic opportunity to tell the public where their food comes from, and thank you to everyone that's been involved. This week it's been a busy week for your office holders. Robyn's been at the NSA event and then at the New Forest show where she had an opportunity to engage with Stephen Morgan. She'll be updating on that later, and the capital grant scheme. Paul Tompkins met with Emma Hardy when the drought was announced, and I've been in meeting the new Secretary of State, Dame Angela Eagle. This was a really important opportunity to make sure that she fully understands our priorities and we understand how we can help her deliver the priorities for the department. The resilience of our food system was a critical part of the conversation. How do we make sure that we turn around declining food production, that we rebuild the resilience, and that we make sure that 70 million consumers have a food system they can rely on? Drought was another critical part of the conversation, but I'm going to let Paul update on that now after his meeting with Emma Hardy.
Thanks, Tom. This week we saw an announcement of an official drought status by the Environment Agency for the majority of counties across England, with the remaining entering a prolonged dry status. This is really water. We all know that water security is fundamental to our production and farming systems. So please do keep updated either from NFU Online or the Environment Agency website to understand what this status means for your catchment. Wildfires are also symptomatic of this prolonged dry weather, and we've seen increasing numbers around the countryside. We want to thank those farmers who assist the fire services in tackling these fires, but also encourage local authorities to ensure they're using public orders to minimise the use or eradicate the use of accelerants, barbecues, fires, and times of the year when it is just really unnecessary. And lastly, we are aware that the APHA have written to a number of livestock farmers to inform them of changes to historic payments of TB compensation. If you are such an effective member, please do ring into Call First, where we can offer further assistance and support.
Other topics of conversation with the new Secretary of State were around Brazilian beef. From the 3rd of September, it looks highly likely that the EU will be stopping all imports of Brazilian beef. They're worried about the antibiotics that are being used in that production system, and they've decided that it shouldn't access the EU marketplace. It's unthinkable that that beef, which is deemed not fit for consumption within the EU, could end up on the GB marketplace. We've asked the Secretary of State to prioritise looking at how this can be stopped and understanding the true consequences if that were to happen. We also talked about capital taxation. There's been a lot written in the press around land taxes and various different types of taxation. It was also really important to reiterate our position around inheritance tax, that we still do not accept that this policy is right, that it taxes business assets as though they're personal wealth, and that if there is an opportunity, we need to look at further mitigation of the impacts of that tax imposition. I'm now going to hand over to Robyn to update on the capital grant scheme and her meeting with Stephen Morgan.
Thanks, Tom. The capital grant scheme reopened this week, and as of Thursday evening, 25% of that budget has been allocated. So if you are intending to make an application, we would encourage you to do so as soon as you can, and we will be continuing to update members as we get information on the allocation of that budget. I did meet with the Farming Minister a couple of times this week, both at the NSA and the New Forest show. Thank you so much to the members that gave their time to also come and speak with the Minister and discuss topics including planning, investment and commons, and the challenges around schemes and budgets that we're currently facing.
We also recognise the pressure of the Bluetongue outbreak, which is gaining pace down in the southwest, the implications for animal welfare and for that business pressure that it creates. We're trying to make sure that APHA have all the testing capacity that is required to try and mitigate the worst of those impacts. We'll keep an eye on everything going on, and we'll update you again next week. Thank you very much.